you doing? I'm doing pretty good myself. Thanks for asking. Before we begin this video, I would like to give the Book Loft a little Book Loft scent. Bath and Body Works came out with this scent, not affiliated with Bath and Body Works by any means, but they came out with a Book Loft scent. And the scents that are used to create this scent is crisp bergamot, neroli, is that how you say that? Neroli, and cozy woods. Not just woods. No, this is cozy woods, which everybody knows that cozy woods is always going to trump regular smelling woods. If you have a chance to stop in and give this scent a little sniff, I would highly recommend that because it smells wonderful. I wish you could smell it. It smells better than wonderful. There are no words to describe it. It's just delish. Okay, so now let's get on with this video. We are going to play a little game in an effort, because I don't think I talk about myself or my likes. I don't do a lot of tags. I don't do a lot of anything on my channel, let's face it, other than book reviews. I'm a book reviewer, and sometimes I just don't read those books fast enough to get the review out. And anyways, when I say review, you know, where I come from, there was a team, Siskel and Ebert, and they would review movies, what they thought. And then a lot of people would go to the movies or not, according to their review. But you know what? A review is just an opinion. And I try not to give a negative opinion because these people work hard on these books. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into these books, and I try not to. And even though it might not be my cup of tea, it might be yours. And so, you know, you always just have to take what I say with a grain of salt, because it is only a review of anyone's, really, is only an opinion. So let's get into why I want to do this, because I want to have fun. I'm a little bored with read a book, review a book, read a book, review a book. So I thought maybe I would open a little window and let you get to know who I am via books. If you can, you know, pick up any clues as to what type of person I am based on the books that I read. And you know what? I've always said that I'm a varied reader, and I absolutely am. So with that in mind, let's get into these books. I have gone around some of my shelves, and I pulled books that have brought me absolute pure joy. That's why we have a big bare spot right there, because I'm a memoir person. I call myself the memoir queen because I love my memoirs. I love the story of your life. I love to know what you did with it, what you're doing with it, how it turned out for you up until a certain point, and what are you going to do with the rest of your life, or how did it end for you, or how did it begin for you. I just love to know, and it keeps me in line with my own life. Yeah. Okay, so ignore that bar spot right there, and let's do this video. These are some of the books that have brought me complete and utter joy, and I will be making more videos like this because I have a couple shelves, and these are not the only books, but I probably can pull a couple more off the shelves, you know. And when I say complete and utter joy, I mean an absolute positive love for these books. These books are why I am a book lover. These books you cannot even rate, because they just go out into the stratosphere. They just break all star ratings. They go beyond that because they're that darn good. I kid you not. So, we're not going to talk about the book that I am reading because I have 2 more chapters or so with it. Matt Birkbeck, The Life We Choose. This is the story of Billy Delia. Billy Delia. And this is my signed copy. A lot of talk about Russell Buffalino. Look, boy, I have some stories I'm going to tell you, share with you on this book, but we're not going to concentrate on that one today because I still have a couple more pages to turn. All right, now, okay, I'm just going to, you know what? I have a stack of books right here. So I am going to kick this little session off with a book that turned me into a book lover. The book that did it for me. The book that all other books would pale in comparison to. And that book is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Now, after I finished this little book, I went straight into The Grapes of Wrath, Travels with Charlie, The Red Pony, The Wayward Bus, Cannery Row. I did them all because John Steinbeck is my boy. John Steinbeck is my favorite. This story has so much to pack inside of this. It looks like a big book, but I'm going to be honest with you. It goes fast because it's fun. It was just such a fun book. It's not fun like haha fun. It's fun like, oh my gosh, this book is so interesting and engaging, and I'm involved, and it has a little piece of me. So every day I need to pick this book up and find out more and more and more. Now, I'm not like, I've read these books years ago. Let's see, I'm 54 and I read this when I was 30. So 24 years ago I read this, and you know, I haven't researched it to catch myself up with the details of the book. I just remember reading this book and falling absolutely in love with it, making it my best book ever. I have not read a book better than this yet. And I've been reading for quite a while now, but I seem to remember some sort of brothel and some head mistress and maybe a bathhouse or something. Tavern, some Salinas Valley, hard living, maybe a dust bowl. I might be confusing that with The Grapes of Wrath, but I'm not quite 100% sure because, like I said, it's 24 years ago, and the mind does tend to forget things, but it will never forget that this is my favorite book of all time. Okay, so now we've kicked it off. I'm going to go a little faster than that because I don't want this video to be 20 hours long, and I do have a stack of books in front of me. So the next book that I'm going to bring to you is Freakonomics, a rogue economist explores the hidden side of everything. Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner. Now listen, you have a question, you want answer, this is your book. It delves into everything this world has to offer. And it does it in a fun, witty, and intelligent way. And I did the audio book of this, and I loved it so much that I just had to spend the money on the book to put it on my shelf. Loved it. Another book I did audio version of and absolutely loved. So much that I had to spend cold hard cash and buy the book so that it was on my shelf. I love to even look at it. This is Hook by Michael Moss. Woo! What a fantastic book. I would probably definitely recommend the Audible version of this book. His voice is soothing, and his voice takes us where we need to go with this book. It tells us how these conglomerate food companies get us hooked and what they have up their sleeves when they are scolded by the government and the USDA officials saying, no, knock it off. You can't be doing that. What these corporate entities do to get away with it. Fat, sugar, salt. That is another great book. Fat, Sugar, Salt. Absolutely loved it. Oh, well, the book that made me cry. It made me cry. Schulz and Peanuts, a biography. And this is by David Michaelis. Michaelis, that's it. I read this book a long time ago. My pardon. My apologies. Yeah. I'm wound tight tonight, aren't I? I'm going to bring it down a couple notches. Okay, so this book made me cry because I love Charles Schulz. I love him with all my might. And was he an angel? No. Did he have his fair share of family problems? Yes, but I'm not concentrating on that. I'm concentrating on the man and his creations. And he made so many people happy with his creation. And this is a book that I did do the Audible version of. I got a lot of house cleaning done to this one. Woo! Because I was so engaged. I wasn't going to stop listening for a moment. So I was inventing things to clean just so I could keep listening. But anyways, I cried. I know. I was dusting the fireplace and the book was ending and it said how it was ending and it made me cry. And then the next day I got ready for work, and when I was driving in, they announced on the radio that Charles Schulz had passed away the previous day in such and such a year. And I said to myself, what are the chances that I would finish his book or a book about him on the anniversary of his passing? That was coincidental, completely. Oh my gosh, this book. Oh, I love this book. Again, with all my might. An American Life, Barnum, Robert Wilson. Now listen, this is a stunner of a book cover. Yeah, and you know what? As a little girl, excited to be getting out of school early, half day, because my parents were taking us to the circus. Oh, God, did it get any cooler? I don't think so. Super excited to go to the circus, viewing it through a little girl's eyes. Me now, as an animal lover, I have my opinions and I have my views, but I read the book because I'm curious how things start, how people make their money, what goes on inside their head, how they create things, and just their natural abilities. I'm just fascinated with it. So this book, I'm remembering how it started with a mermaid and a fish, and then it takes us into this huge building. It could have been like 3 city blocks long, and there was actually a whale in a tank, and his building caught fire. The animals. My gosh, my nerves were on edge. This is a fabulous book. How he lost everything, millions, and then built it all up again. Fabulous, fabulous story. This book made me laugh. I had this book in my hand so many times, and I couldn't get past the first page. 2019, okay. Couldn't get past the first page. Wasn't for me. And then I decided I will try the Audible version of it. And I'm telling you, halfway through, I was like, I gotta go to Barnes & Noble's. I gotta go buy this stinking book just so I can put it on my shelf, because I love it that much. But, I'll follow along for the rest of the book, and that way I won't feel like I didn't get some of my money's worth out of it. This is Megan Griswold, The Book of Help, a memoir in Remedies. Love this book so much. She is so funny. She's going through a divorce, and she takes us through the tale of how she handled it. And you know what? It's very comedic. And I was there for it every single step of the way with this book. I don't want to keep you much longer or keep this video, make this video too long. I'm going to give you one more. It's the next book on my pile, so I'm going to go with it. This one is called Big Fellow. It's by Jane Leavy. This book made me smile. This book made me happy. This book made me sad. This book made me curious. It doesn't matter to me who your favorite team is. That does not matter to me. What matters to me is the man and his legend and what he did with his life. And I remember where I'm from, they used to have a plaque in a park because it was the park where, well, the baseball field was next to the park. So the baseball field that he hit a home run so far, I don't remember the distance, but so dang far that it actually sailed through the park and into like the track field. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So they put a little, kind of podium placard thing there to commemorate that. And I remember as a little girl reading it, and it is not there now. And that is sad, and that is a shame that our city or borough would take that down. We don't have much where I come from. So we're a coal country, a lot of miners and sewing factories. And that was probably one of the very little claims to fame, that could put us on the map. But they did away with that. And I'm not on board with that. But beautiful story. Beautiful man. And I was there for this book also every step of the way. Did the audible version in the spring, right when baseball season was starting, and loved it so much that I was at the bookstore, saw it, and I brought it home. And, when I do things like that, it brings me happiness to look at that book. It brings me happiness to know that I have that book on my shelf. That book that brought me such happiness continues to bring me happiness just by me glancing at it. It's kind of like people who are really into art and they like to look at a picture. That's how I am with my books. Just glancing at a book brings me happiness. Now, I have a lot more books to bring you. I don't know if that helped you out to decipher what kind of person I am via my books, but we're going to go with it. It's a good start, and like I said, I'm going to do other videos like this because I'm a book lover and I want to reach other book lovers. Not just book readers, book lovers. People who actually fall in love with their books, with the story that they just read. The story will never ever leave them. It now becomes a little part of who they are. Does that sound creepy? I don't mean that in a creepy way. I did read something, be a compilation of all the people you've ever loved. That's what I mean. Okay, does that make more sense? Alrighty, until we meet again, know that I love you. Toodles.